Okay, so for those of you watching this video, I am creating a digital sketch of the design to the right. So I'm making my digital version. I'm doing this in Blackboard, but obviously you can do this in any program. Just the final version. I don't need to see your digital sketch. So the digital sketch, the piece to the right, that's a great question, is optional. You don't have to do that. So the digital sketch is just a method for you to work with. So you don't have to do this at all. I'm using this as a reference so you can see what I mean. Now I'm going to break this down to two colors I'm going to work with, which because we're kind of working with cool tones, I'll definitely do blue, and then I want to choose its opposite, so orange. If those watching the recording forget what your opposite colors are, no big deal. You can watch the recording from last week. We go into it in detail. I'm going to click a good orange here and make that as my, actually no, I need to do blue. Blue is a good place to start. Make blue as my background here. This is kind of a purpley blue. And since I'm doing this digitally, I might just do a big shape first. Now from here on out, I'm going to probably start playing with some transparencies if you're working on this digitally. Obviously, if you're doing this with actual like 2D materials like paint and such, pull this up here so I can see it better. You don't have to go, this is more intuitive. So you can see, it's because I'm going to do this process fairly quickly. I might have some base shapes here to sort of represent the rocks and such. Now when you make this piece digitally, you don't have to work with complete perfection here. And right now, and I can even copy paste or make different shapes kind of overlapping. What's more attractive too is always to make a variety of colors in your piece as well. So maybe I'll lighten this up. Now, don't be afraid to push reality a little bit, right? I know from looking at this piece that the stone is kind of more white, but I might choose to, of course, push the blue here. But I'm slowly going to get lighter and lighter just to create that variety of different blues in the piece. And I might even go back here and make some contrasty blocky pieces going on here. And this is a choice. I also, if I had a stylus and a nice drawing pad, I might prefer to use like a paint or highlighter function and do some details that way, not rely just on shapes. So I kind of feel like if my concept art was made with just cubes or these sort of shapes, this would be like a promotion for, I don't know, like a Minecraft sort of game. Something a little bit blockier, you know, the world is a little bit more rigid. Kind of see like something digital. Makes me think, I just watched Wreck-It Ralph, the new one, over the weekend. I'm thinking a lot about like sort of how they entered the internet with this piece, which is funny because the image is such like an ancient looking deal. I'm just going to do a few more shapes here. And you can see how really quickly my layers are building up. And that's the biggest thing with a piece like this, that you really want to push your layers. That's what people find mesmerizing here. And so maybe now to really create that contrast with the black in the background, I'll shift to a dark deep blue, almost black. So this is like a navy color. Still it's sheer, and I'm going to put that right here. And then for now, for the moon, I'm going to do a circle, and then I'm going to do sort of like a pale periwinkle color just to play along with what's happening here. And then coming out here, you're going to have the water and the boat. So I'm going to switch to my brush function, which in Blackboard is just a highlighter. And I'm going to use a couple of orangey browns. So I'm switching from blues now to oranges. And you're going to really see how your image will start to really have that contrast. Now, because the highlighter function works just on transparencies, it kind of does act like a pretty good paintbrush. Now, when you're doing this project, I do not recommend using Blackboard to create this piece. It is by far gives you the least control over all the different media out there. So if you want to do this digitally but don't have any programs yet, there's definitely a lot of free ones that you have access to. What's a good free one that you guys know about while I'm working on this? Do you mostly use apps? I know, Bobby, you said that you used Photoshop. I believe you can even change the stroke size. Yes, so I can get tinier here. Oh yes, the details are much better. I believe Pixlr is a okay free one. What comes with any free program is that it'll always be a little bit clunky. There will always be some issues. Blackboard by far is the most clunky, even though it's not free, because it's just not designed to do digital drawings. So what I'm also going to do to intersperse some contrast in here is I'm going to add some different oranges as well. Set for a sketchbook? That's fine. Yeah. So once again, you can do this piece in any media you like, with any process you like. You can mix media as well, but what I'm really looking for is layers. I want contrasting colors. I'm even going to add a few like little bits of this color mixed into here. And see how as soon as I add this sort of pale orange, it creates like a very contrasting effect here. You can see it a little bit better. So this piece, I think so far I have been working on it for 7 minutes. This is by no means a great piece of work. I'm just demonstrating some basic ideas of how you can complete this project. And since I normally don't use digital, I'm giving you guys a version that you can see both in this recording and in YouTube at the same time. So I'm just doubling up my time here. I prefer normally not to work with this material because it's naturally kind of frustrating. So I'm even going to add some highlights right here now into my boat before I finish this off. And you can see here how I'm creating some question. There's clear foreground, middle ground, background as well. Oop. That looks kind of like a banana, not too yellow. Solidify that with an orange. It's always fun doing this live with people because I hear my inner monologue outside. I'm sure you guys have many drawings in which you've accidentally made your boat look like a banana. We'll just say Blackboard is not my favorite program to draw with. But I did not do it. And to make my shadows, oh thank you, to make my shadows a little bit deeper in this boat too, I'm going to actually go back in and add some of that opposite color again. Look how layering up on top it starts to work together though. This is like a purple blue. I'm nearly done with this tutorial. Yeah. So you can still definitely see the original. Maybe I'll even add some texture here on the moon, just so people know to look at the moon. This looks like to me like a homemade game. Oop. That was messed up. How do I do that? I messed that one up. Let me just do this then. I recommend, if you have better control over drawing, do this in a drawing. If you want to experiment with painting, this is ideal for a painting. But in the end here, this will still get a passing grade. Maybe not an A++, what I created, but you'll still do fine. So we see here I have my background moon, I have my different cave space, and I have my foreground, the boat. I recommend doing a different program than Blackboard to create this in. And Photoshop, as I said, is welcome, but make sure you adjust the images a lot. Get rid of this junk over here that's around the boat that doesn't make any sense to be in the piece. All right, and I'm going to turn off this recording of what I've made.